Hey friends, what's up? It's Gabby, and we're going to talk about my top 3 strength building supplement recommendations. So remember, when we're building strength and in training, we want to be gaining and building things. And I think a common misconception in exercise is that we constantly want to be losing, but in reality, we really want to be gaining and holding on to as much muscle mass as we can. So when we're constantly in a deficit, remember, we're constantly losing. And we want to make sure that we're gaining things, because especially women, as we get older, we tend to lose things like bone mass and muscle mass. So let's work on maintaining, building, and keeping that muscle mass. So my first supplement that I'm going to recommend is a protein supplement. The gold standard of protein supplements is whey protein isolate. It is easily digestible and absorbed, and it is best to be taken post-workout. I recommend anywhere between 20 and 40 grams. If you are a much larger person, let's say like a linebacker, you're probably going to need a little bit more. But for my audience, most of us can probably have somewhere between 20 and 40 grams post-workout, immediately, as soon as you can tolerate it. If you don't tolerate whey protein, or if you're a vegan, or if you avoid all dairy products, a sport-based plant protein is going to be a great substitute. And I would recommend something like Orgain's Sports Performance Plant-Based Protein. The next one I'm going to recommend is creatine. Creatine is a compound that is found in your muscles and helps produce fast energy in the form of phosphocreatine. Creatine supplements just increase the amount of creatine that you have in your muscles, so we can make faster energy more rapidly. Okay, so it is recommended that you load. So there's a loading phase for creatine of about 25 grams for about 5 to 7 days, and then a maintenance of 5 grams per day, or 0.03 grams per kilogram is what's recommended. So creatine, do I need to take it? I say anyone with a performance-based goal, whether you're an athlete or you're just a recreational exerciser and you have a performance-based goal, creatine can be very helpful for you. Creatine also has more benefits than just strength. So I recommend that if you are looking to recover better, if you are someone who does take a lot of knocks to the head, like a fighter or a football player, you may also want to take creatine as well, as it is good for brain health and recovery there. Now, the last one I'm going to recommend is caffeine, and my eyes open on caffeine because I am a caffeine drinker and taker. I need caffeine to perform any task. So caffeine is what we call an ergogenic aid. All of these are ergogenic aids, and they are things that aid in our sports and exercise performance. If you are a college athlete, taking caffeine supplements in the form of pills or anhydrous caffeine is not legal in your sport. So please check if you are under NCAA guidelines. Do not take caffeine supplements, and check with your sports dietitian as well on your caffeine intake. So for everyone else, caffeine is much needed in our lives if you are someone who's genetically predisposed to be able to take in caffeine. So there are caffeine phenotypes and genetic markers that are people who are susceptible to caffeine, who respond well to caffeine, and people who don't respond to well to caffeine. So you probably know if you are a caffeine responder or not a caffeine responder. If you are a coffee drinker, you can get your caffeine through coffee. If you're not a coffee drinker and want to experiment with caffeine as a ergogenic or a sports enhancing supplement, then go for it. There are many caffeine supplements on the market. I recommend, though, that you do work with a nutritionist, someone who specializes in sports like myself, to kind of build your own sports supplement nutrition regime. So your own regimen to enhance your performance through sports supplements.